In the session 2 of Java and Web, we learned about the logical AND, logical OR, bitwise AND and bitwise OR operators. And there I said that the logical AND and logical OR operators are called short circuit operator. In this video, I will answer with a practical example that why logical AND and logical OR operators are called short circuit operators. Namaste everyone, I am Gyan and you are watching the session 4 of Java and Web, methods as flow of control. We know that from our previous videos that if series of logical ANDs working together, then as soon as the first false occurs, it escapes the further executions. If you don't know about this property, then find the links given in the video description below. In this example, we have the series of logical ANDs working on various trues and false. Here we have the series of logical ANDs working on the various true and false values. The first logical AND gets executed and results in true. The second logical AND gets executed and results in true. The third logical AND gets executed and results in false. Since all the operators in the series is only logical AND, then it's confirmed that if one operand of the logical AND is false, then whole series is going to be false. That's how the further logical AND operators will not be executed by the JVM. Here the JVM will compare if 3 is greater than 2 and 2 is less than equal to 2 or not. This logical AND operator will be executed. But at the time of second logical AND operator, the one operand is false because 4 is not less than 1. So after the second logical AND operator, the JVM will not execute further logical AND operators in the given series. Since the series of logical AND operators complete their work in the shortcut, that's how the logical AND operator is called the short circuit operator. Similar is the case with the logical OR operator. If a series of logical ORs working together, then as soon as the first true occurs, it escapes the further executions. Here you can see the first logical OR will be executed, which results in true. Since at least one operand of the logical OR is going to be true anyhow, that's how the further logical OR operators in this series will not execute, because anyhow the result is going to be true. That's how in this case the Java will execute only first logical OR operator. The other logical OR operators in the series will not be executed by Java. Same is the case here. Here the 2 greater than equal to 2 results in true. That's how only first logical OR operator in this series gets executed. The further logical OR operators in the series will not be executed by the JVM. Since the series of logical OR operator finishes its execution whenever it encounters first true operand. And then after the further logical OR operators will not execute. That's how the logical OR operator is called short circuit operator. So the both logical AND operator and the logical OR operator are called short circuit operators. Here it has been written, since the series of logical AND and logical OR decides the result of the expression without completing it, so they are called short circuit operators. Let's see it practically. This is the program where we have the 5 methods. All methods are returning Boolean. The program starts from here and ends here. So the code in the both blocks are the same program. We have 5 methods here, F1 to F5. All methods are printing their names and then returning either true or false. Method F1 returns true, F2 returns true, F3 returns false, F4 returns false, and F5 returns true. And here we are applying the logical AND operators on all these method calls. Since the return type of these method calls are booleans, that's how we can apply the logical AND on these method calls. F1 returns true and F2 returns true. Before returning true, F1 prints F1, and before returning true, F2 prints F2. True, logical AND true results in true. Logical AND operator is left to right associative. And here for the second logical AND operator, the operands are true, logical AND and return value of F3. In this case, the F3 first prints F3 and then return false. So the final operands of the second logical AND operator are true, logical AND false, which results in false. Now one false has been appeared in the series. That's how the method F4 and F5 will not execute. The output will be F1, F2, F3 and value of B, that is false. That's it. Let me execute this code in a Java program. Open shortcircuit.java and this is the same code. Let me save and compile it. Java C shortcircuit.java. Compiles fine, then run it. Java short circuit. It runs fine, printing F1, F2, F3 and false, the value of B. This is the proof that methods F4 and F5 do not get executed. And the series of logical AND operators finished its work in the short circuit. Let me return only true from all the methods. Write here true. I want to return true from all the methods. Write here again true. Now all methods are returning true. In this case, all the methods in the series from F1 to F5 will execute. Let me save and compile this code. Java C short circuit.java compiles fine, then run it. It runs fine and printing F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 and the final value of variable B, that is true. Since in this case we did not find any false in the series, that's how all the logical AND operators gets executed, which calls the method calls from the method F1 to F5. Look at this program. This program is similar to previous program, just here we are using the logical OR operators. Here we have the series of logical OR operators, and since the logical OR operator is also the short circuit operator, that's how as soon as a method will return true, that's how as soon as the JVM will get a true, will not call any other method and will not execute any other logical OR operator in the series. You can see here the method F1 returns true. So after executing the method F1, the JVM will not execute the method F2, F3, F4 or F5 because the JVM got the result true, and JVM knows that does not matter what the value of F2, F3, F4 and F5, the result of overall series is going to be true. That's why the JVM will not execute the method F2, F3, F4 and F5. And without executing these four methods, the JVM will result in true. That true will be stored in the boolean variable B, and we are printing here true. So here in this case only the method F1 will execute because the method F1 is returning true. After that, no need to execute any other method. The result anyhow is going to be true. Let me try this code in a Java program. Open shortcircuit.java and this is the code. We have 5 methods. Method F1 returns true, method F2 returns true, F3 returns false, F4 returns false, F5 returns true, and that's it. Here is the series of logical OR operators. The result of this series of logical OR operator is true, but the method gets executed is only method F1 because the method F1 returns true, and then after JVM do not need to execute any other method because the result of this overall series of logical ORs is anyhow going to be true. That true gets stored in the boolean variable B, and finally we are printing the boolean variable B. Let me save and compile this code. Java C shortcircuit.java compiles fine, then run it. Java short circuit. It runs fine printing F1 and true. Other methods do not get executed. So that's how the logical OR operator is also called the short circuit operator. If I make the return type of all the methods as false, then whole series will execute and the JVM will give the chance to all the methods to execute. Write here false. Make the return type of all the methods as false. Write here false. Again, write here false. Now in this case the JVM will never find a true. That's how all the methods will be executed and all the logical OR operators will be executed. Let me save and compile this code. At this time it will print F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 and false. Java C shortcircuit.java compiles fine, then run it. It runs fine printing F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 and false. Now what is the difference between series of logical AND and the series of bitwise AND? What is the difference between series of logical OR and the series of bitwise OR? The series of bitwise AND and the series of bitwise OR do not decide the result of the expression before completing it. So they are not the short circuit operators. The effect of the series of logical AND or bitwise AND are same. But the bitwise AND is not short circuit, whereas the logical AND is the short circuit operator. Here it is the same code as we seen, with only difference is that we are using the series of bitwise AND operators. Does not matter any function returns true or false. Anyhow all the methods are going to execute, all the operators are going to execute. Even if the method F3 results in false, but the method F4 and F5 also gets executed. Of course the result of the bitwise AND is similar to the logical AND, but the bitwise AND is not a short circuit operator, whereas the logical AND is the short circuit operator. So in the case of the series of bitwise AND, all the methods will execute, all the operators will execute. Let me try this code in a Java program. Open shortcircuit.java and this is the code. We have the 5 methods. methods F1, F2 and F5 returning true, whereas the method F3 and F4 are returning false. Here we have the series of bitwise AND operators. Even if the method F3 returns false, but all the methods will execute. The final value of this expression is of course false, because the effect of the logical AND and bitwise AND are same. But the bitwise AND is not the short circuit operator. Let me save and compile this code. Java C short circuit.java. Compiles fine, then run it. Java short circuit. It runs fine, printing F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 and false, because the final result is false. Similar to the logical AND and bitwise AND, the effect of the logical OR and bitwise OR are same. But the bitwise OR is not short circuit, whereas the logical OR is the short circuit operator. This code is similar to previous one, with only difference is that we are using the series of bitwise OR operators. Even if the method F1 returns true here, but all the methods F2, F3, F4 and F5 will execute, and all the bitwise OR operators will execute. Of course, similar to the logical OR, the ultimate result of this series is true. But unlike logical OR, the bitwise OR is not short circuit. It will execute all the methods. It will execute all the operators present in the series. The final result true will be stored in the boolean variable b, and finally we are printing the boolean variable b. Let me execute this code practically in a Java program. Open shortcircuit.java, and this is the code. We have the method F1 returns true, F2 returns true, F3 returns false, F4 returns false, and the method F5 returns true. And here we have the series of bitwise OR operators. All the methods will execute, and final value true gets stored in the boolean variable b. Finally, we are printing the boolean variable b. Let me save and execute this code. Java C shortcircuit.java. Compiles fine, then run it. Java short circuit. It runs fine, printing F1, F2, F3, F4, F5 and then true. The final value of b is true. That's all for this video, guys. Don't forget to like and share this video, subscribe this channel if you are new, and leave your valuable comments in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.